So I know you were at AT&T prior to doing this. What were you making before?
On a good month, 4 to 5,000 on average, depending on the sales and like the commission goals that I would hit. But annually, maybe around like 50 to 70,000, depending on how the year went. So
What did you get? What did you already get deposited this month?
this month, I've technically deposited around like 7 to 10,000,
So you made way more than what you were doing.
significantly, especially in like a shorter amount of time too.
That's crazy. When you first got in the business, you're obviously a lot different. Tell me more or less like what type of agent were you when you first walked into how you are now?
I would say, the biggest thing was that I was definitely a sponge in like every aspect. I wanted to absorb all the knowledge that I could, especially from my mentor on. He's definitely a good person to keep in your ring at all times, especially in this business. He basically told me that the only way that you'll be successful in this business is if you put in all the work, you actually show up every single day with intention.
Well, obviously you didn't come in swinging. What changed from obviously you weren't the greatest agent to now you're honestly probably the top guy as of now. What's the difference between the two?
It was definitely a lot of like self-belief for sure. Like really understanding that my job is like a life insurance agent.
So obviously when you came into the business, you weren't the same agent that you are now. You probably one of the worst.
Yes.
Speak with humility, but now you're at the top. What's the difference between then and now?
I would definitely say it's a lot of self-belief for one. I really didn't believe in myself at the time when I first started out. I was struggling a lot to really try to get the picture across to the clients over the phone, and I just didn't really know what to do. It took me months to really actually get something down and fully develop the skill that I have now and that I can use every day. It's definitely a lot of like trial and error for sure, but I think the one thing that really changed it for me was the fact that I surrounded myself with people that are winners, focus on God and put him first in every single aspect. And so I basically did the same exact, copied and pasted that same process.
What would you say for agents that aren't having such a great start like you did? What's your recommendation? Because obviously you stuck it through. I think it was get to the point where you almost didn't make it in this business.
Correct. I was pretty much at the point to where I was close to falling out, having to leave the business to, pursue something else for income. But I think that moment where I would truly actually hit rock bottom was when I realized that I don't have to rely on anything else but myself to be able to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. End goal is supporting my family and making sure that they're, financially well off in that sense. But I would definitely say, it's more so the fact that having that right mindset for sure, people in your corner that you can trust that not only call you out when you're doing something incorrectly, but do it with purpose to where they want to see you grow and become the best version of yourself, because you owe it to everyone else that cares about you.
So you'd obviously say it's the culture that we have, keeping up the standard where we don't allow people cutting shortcuts and watering down process, things like that.
Even the negative mindset, it's so damn infectious, like really bad, energy that just spreads like a virus throughout the entire office. And it really impacts a lot of the newer agents that I see nowadays too, because one, kind of do get yelled at over the phone pretty much all the time. But on the flip side, that 10% of the people that we actually talk to that need this coverage, that we're actively seeking for, information on this, we help their families and make sure that they're protected.
What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself from being in this type of sales in comparison to, obviously, because I worked at Verizon, it's not the same sales,
no,
for sure.
Definitely, it takes away the aspect of actually being in front of somebody and really getting to know someone in person, because it's a whole different ballgame when you're on the phone with somebody. They can't see you, you can't see them. The only thing that you have in terms of like ammunition is your voice and their voice and what your real intentions are for that phone call, I guess, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, us being life insurance agents, I would definitely say that the best foot forward is always making sure that you're focusing on the client's needs and not your own, because at the end of the day, that money will come. Trust me, it's just making sure that you always put that best foot forward.
For the guy that's on the fence of joining and that's broke or, not sure if this is a legitimate way of making an income, what would you tell them if you looked at them directly in the camera?
I would definitely say the best thing you can do is always invest in yourself. It's a gamble that you pretty much will never lose. The moment that you start betting on yourself and really believing that you can do anything that you put your mind to is the moment that you start to see the real change in your life. And it also will impact the people around you too.